You know, I think Idaho lawmakers have a pretty simple job. Propose laws and regulations that govern the people within the state of Idaho's borders, right? Outside Idaho's borders, though, our state laws, well, they don't really hold any weight, as you well know. That's why once Idaho outlawed most abortions, Idahoans started looking for that procedure outside and wanted to simply drive to another state if they wanted to have one. It could be Oregon or it could be Washington, but this could be illegal, specifically for minors. Republican Representative Barbara Ehart from Idaho Falls introduced House Bill 98 today in the state, in committee today. This bill would consider any adult transporting a minor outside the state of Idaho for an abortion to be, quote, a human trafficker. Exceptions exist for parents, legal guardians, or parental consent, but abortion accessibility advocates still say this is problematic and it isolates a very specific group of kids in need. Here's Andrew Bartline.
Since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, there's been a different kind of work in the Gem State for Planned Parenthood.
We have been here helping answer questions for patients, helping them navigate now safe pathways to abortion care outside of the state of Idaho.
That's because Idaho law bans most abortions at any stage of pregnancy. Abortions are only legal in the state of Idaho in the case of rape, incest, or to save the mother's life at the doctor's discretion.
You know, at the end of the day, when we say care no matter what, that's exactly what we mean.
What it means exactly is crossing state lines. According to Planned Parenthood's website, the nearest legal abortion provider for people in Boise is 4 hours away in Walla Walla, Washington, or a 5.5-hour drive to Bend, Oregon. And this isn't hypothetical.
Yes, they have been leaving Idaho to get abortion care.
But some of these, too, could soon be illegal.
A connection to abortion and human trafficking.
Behind Republican Representative Barbara Ehart, who introduced House Bill 98.
Having to do with the human trafficking by adding definitions to the illegal trafficking of minors to procure a criminal abortion.
Under this bill, anyone transporting a minor out of state for an abortion is considered a human trafficker, a crime punishable by 2 to 5 years. Exceptions exist for parents transporting their own kids, or if the parent offers their consent to another adult.
Extreme lawmakers in Idaho are in a race to the bottom. Is the next step here surveillance? Are they going to start surveilling Idahoans in terms of what we are doing when we cross state borders?
The bill received no questions in the committee introduction.
The motion is carried. It will be done.
As a result, the 208 reached out to Representative Ehart to clarify portions of her bill. This includes civil enforcement. The first portion of the bill suggests parental consent is a legal criminal defense against a trafficking charge. However, later in the bill, it seems parental consent is not a legal civil defense, meaning the family could still be sued for $20,000 for having an abortion out of state. Representative Ehart did not answer or offer any more clarity.
Most young people do involve their parents in a decision like this. We are talking about young people who are in extreme circumstances who cannot involve their parents. And so to put criminal sanctions in place, to criminalize and punish not only the person seeking access to healthcare, but also those who are trying to help them, is not going to solve these issues.
There are several questions we still have regarding this bill. Representative Ehart is in 3 different committees. There's also a House floor session today as well. So notably, the State Affairs Committee had that featured testimony in Scogg's bill that took a long time. So, Brian, understandably, Representative Ehart's busy. We could not get in touch with her today, tried multiple times, but several questions that we've been looking into about this. You know, if you go outside these state boundaries and you have this procedure, is this a criminal or a civil defense, excuse me. That was one of the several pieces we talked about trying to figure out.
Right. I mean, there are no laws right now that say you can't go to Oregon and smoke some marijuana and then come back to Idaho. There's no laws about that, but they're looking to kind of, this is not, I don't want to say it's equal. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying the premise is kind of the same. You want to legislate what goes on outside of Idaho's borders.
Yeah, and there's several things in this bill, specific language, trying to sift through. We're going to stay on top of it, continue to sift through it, and hopefully get in touch with Representative Ehart at some point and iron that out.
Just introduced without any sort of discussion, so yeah, we'll still hopefully get some questions answered. Thank you very much, Andrew.